Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. Today I have the story of a girl who got her ex to want her back after about 3 months of no contact. She's a former coaching client of mine, and of course I have her permission to tell the story and to read her emails. It's going to be a little long, but it will definitely be interesting, and there is a twist at the end, so you want to make sure you listen to the end. So get some popcorn, get a drink, chill, and listen up. Here we go. So she says, my ex broke up with me the day after Christmas. Yikes. Last year because of my insecurities and jealousy towards him with other women. He never cheated on me and cut off all contact with exes when he was with me. I was just paranoid and insecure. I never dealt with being cheated on in the past, and I was very needy before. He tried to make me feel better when we were together, but ultimately it wasn't his responsibility. Correct. And we couldn't stop fighting, so he ended it. Yes, so please don't make this mistake. If someone cheated on you in the past, don't make your future partners have to pay the price for it, because you're so afraid of someone else taking your partner away that the person you should actually be afraid of is the person looking at you in the mirror, and that would be you, unless there's someone behind you in the mirror. So your biggest enemy is actually yourself in this situation, and in fact, he ended up breaking up with her. Months went by. He got a new girlfriend around March, someone he used to date. I went to Europe, nice, worked on myself mentally, physically, spiritually, saw a therapist to resolve issues, and really focused on myself. Good for you. She did all the things that I recommend. So that's really important. And you'll see that it really helped her as things progressed. He finally reached out before my birthday in mid-May and wanted to take me out to dinner for my birthday. After we talked, I had an uneasy feeling about meeting up with him because I wasn't sure if he wanted to meet up as friends or if he finally came to his senses and realized he wanted to give us another try. So I called him and asked what his intentions were. I love it. Excuse me, sir, what are your intentions with me? No one ever asks that anymore. I didn't want to waste my time meeting him if he wasn't on the same page as me. Good for you. I asked him if he had feelings. He said he does, but he doesn't want to get back together anytime soon, that he wants to spend time being selfish. See, so just because your ex contacts you and just because they want to hang out with you or take you out for your birthday, it doesn't necessarily mean that they want to get back together. So good for her for clarifying that. I also asked how he could move forward seeing someone else, even if he still loves me. He told me he didn't have an answer for me. Well, actually, he did have an answer, but he knew the answer was not going to be helpful. You were not going to be happy with the answer, and that's why he said he didn't have an answer. He was being diplomatic. He told me he's terrified of losing me from his life because I made such a huge impact on it in the past 3 years and wants to continue hearing from me even if it's only once a week. Again, just because your ex contacts you doesn't mean they want to get back together. If you had a good relationship apart from the issues that you had, they may just want you to still be a part of their life, but doing that is not going to get them back. So continuing on, she said, I told him I didn't think meeting up was a good idea. Good for her. Because he seems confused about what he wants, and I'm not offering him friendship. Woohoo! Either we move forward or we don't move. He told me he had a birthday present to give me, and I told him I appreciated the gesture, but he should give it to the new girl he's dating or return it. Yes, way to go. I made it clear I'm not competing with another woman, and I'm not offering friendship. Perfect. Now, it was at this point that she contacted me for coaching. She wanted to know what to do going forward. And of course, I said no contact. And yes, she was afraid to do it. I told her that she did the right thing and to wait until he reached out again because she wanted to reach out to him for his birthday in June. And I said no. And of course, she was afraid that he was going to, not want to deal with her anymore if she didn't contact him for his birthday, et cetera, et cetera. And I said, don't worry about it. Just stay in no contact. Same fears you probably have. She had them. but she listened to me. So moving along, here's one of the twists. They were going to be working together for about 3 or 4 months. So this is where the story now continues. I went to the building where he and I were going to be working together for orientation and ran into him. He was avoiding eye contact with me and not saying a word to me. Now remember, they've not been in contact since they had that conversation about the fact that if they weren't going to get back together, then she didn't want to meet him for her birthday. I just went about my business, looked and felt great. I also have not looked at any of his social media accounts since I unfollowed and unfriended him in May when he was posting photos of him and the new girl at places where we used to go. So they're working together for a little bit. Then finally, one night after work, I grabbed my stuff from my locker and said, "Have a good night." He said, "You too." In the parking garage, he said, "Got plans tonight?" And I said, "Gym. Why?" He smiled at me as I was getting into my car and he asked, "Can Jim wait?" By Jim, she means like working out. It's not like, it's not a guy named Jim. I said, "Well, what do you have in mind?" He said, "Are you hungry?" I said, "I just ate a banana." I'm laughing because that's something that I would say if I'm not very happy with someone. "Are you hungry?" "I had a banana." He said, "Can I take you for a drink then?" I said, "Okay." He ended up taking me to a high-end restaurant and spent $200 on dinner. What? Is that all? Just kidding. I ended up getting hungry. During the dinner, I merely listened. He told me the following. All right, listen up, everybody. Here's one of the juicy parts. He regrets how he behaved after the breakup. He started crying at the dinner table when we talked about how he treated me. Yes! 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 This is what we all want. When someone has broken up with us, we want them to cry when they talk about the breakup. All right. He wishes we never broke up, and he's still in love with me, and he never stopped loving me. Nice. He said he tried to find happiness elsewhere, but he keeps thinking of me even with the new person. So for those of you who are in no contact and your ex is dating someone else, doesn't mean they're happy. Doesn't mean they moved on emotionally, so don't worry. Keep the faith. He said everything reminds him of me, and he looked at an old album of ours 3 weeks ago and broke down. He told me he misses being late to places because I'm still getting ready. He brought up a lot of my mannerisms that he said he misses. Aw. He said he was trying to suppress his feelings towards me, but he couldn't. Exactly. When someone has a high interest level, their interest level has gone up after the breakup because you're ignoring them, you're doing no contact, you're showing high value by saying, "No, I'm not going to meet you just for as a friend." Their interest level goes up and they can't suppress their feelings. Continuing on, I asked him what he was trying to gain from this conversation and if he wanted us to get back together. And he said yes, but he stressed he wasn't expecting anything to happen. He said he understood it was over. As he walked me to my car, I asked if things were over between him and that girl, and he said no. And I said, that explains it. Then he asked me if that negates everything he told me over dinner, and I said, unbothered, it doesn't matter. I had told her to just be chill. This is also why she's behaving this way. I said, don't do anything since she was now working with him for a little while. Just be high value, just be happy and friendly, and don't show your concern. Even though behind the scenes she was freaking out and getting coaching from me, in person she was able to be chill, and I love it. So when she said unbothered, it doesn't matter, then he said, I'm ending things with her. I said, I hope it's not because of me. And he said, I have to end things with her because of how I feel for you. Have a good night. Thanks for dinner. I didn't hug him and got into my car. She asks, how did I do? Amazing. Amazing. Perfect. She follows directions well. So then she asked, I'm not sure what to do next. I really like the new guy I'm seeing, but I'm not sure I'm completely over my ex. So she had been seeing a new guy for a while. He seemed to pull away in the week following the dinner, not talking so much or making eye contact, and so she wanted to know if she should reach out, invite him to lunch, etc. So see, he was pulling away and she had the urge to move forward, which is the natural urge that comes up when someone you're interested in pulls away, but that's the wrong instinct. You do not move forward, you stand still. So I said, no, do not do anything. Continue as you were. And so she wrote back, okay, Lucia, you win. I'll listen and continue to do nothing. No, I don't win. You win. When you do nothing, when you're trying to get your ex back and you let them come to you, you win. So moving along. Hope you're not bored. You can't be bored listening to this. It's too exciting. Okay. So he asked her out again. She said, we talked about what happened between us and mistakes that were made on both ends. He started getting sad for walking out on me. This was part of the reason I was behaving so needy before when he pulled away and needed space. My instincts were to try harder, big mistake I know now, right? I told him that it was the best thing he ever did for me because I'm a better woman because of what happened. Woohoo! He told me he hasn't been happy in months and he truly missed me. He said I was the most influential person in his life and he was devastated that I took him off social media, and he immediately noticed when I did it. So again, something else to discuss, because I say you can keep them on social media if you're not going to be tempted to contact them if you see something like them going out with someone else. But after 2 months, if they're not contacting you, get rid of them off social media. They will notice and it will affect them. Soon afterwards, he broke up with the other girl. So as you can see, everything happens in stages because people think that in getting an ex back, you just have a conversation and it's like, all right, we're back. No, it happens in stages. So you have to be patient because all along this process, she's emailing me and freaking out saying, I just want him to ask me out again. I just wanted to break up with the other girl. And I just kept saying, be patient, be calm, don't do anything. Moving on. The next time they hung out, he asked if there was a chance that they would get back together. She said she didn't know the answer to that right now, and he said he would patiently wait and would work to regain her trust. All right, we're almost done here, so hang in there. She says, my ex was whining and dining me for a month straight, and one Friday evening after dinner, we got a little touchy-feely. I didn't hear from him after that, which made me suspicious about his true intentions for wanting me back. I didn't panic. I let him come to me. When he asked me to lunch again, he revealed that he didn't contact me because he didn't want me to think we were back together just because we cozied up. Aha! So first, he's crying about wanting to get back together, and now when they get a little touchy-feely, as she says, he's like, well, wait a minute. Doesn't mean we're back together. So that's why you can't rush the process because you don't know what's going on. She says, that made me suspicious because he had claimed that he wanted me back so badly. Exactly. He admitted he was in contact with 2 other women that he was previously involved with. He told me that he ran into an ex-girlfriend who broke his heart badly before me. He told me he had blocked her, by the way, at a bar and started drunkenly badgering her. My thought process was, well, why badger her if you're over her? Exactly. He told me she had recently texted him, and that's when I knew he unblocked her and most likely was in contact with her. He was also taking another girl he used to sleep with, who he knows is still obsessed with him. In fact, he calls her the desperate one, out to dinner. I opened my eyes at lunch that day and realized he was still the same insecure man who needs validation from several women to feel complete. I refused to be another woman who plays games with him. At that point, I didn't think he was sincere enough about getting me back. I calmly told him I felt like he needs attention from multiple women and I wasn't interested in that, so I thought we should just be friends. His jaw dropped and he told me he wasn't expecting to hear that from me. He still looks at me with a lot of admiration and I can tell he still cares and still loves me. I don't know about all that, but whatever. I have feelings for him, but I don't think he would be a good partner long term. Not right now, anyways. I finally stopped looking at his words and actions and started looking at his patterns. They were the same patterns that partially led to our breakup before. I've evolved from being a needy, clingy girl to a high-value woman. but I don't think he has changed one bit. Woohoo! You go, girl. I appreciate everything you helped me with. Everything you told me to do worked. Your counsel was worth every penny. I've just decided I can't spend any more time on a man who's not worth the investment. Amen, sister. Amen. So I hope you enjoyed listening to this as much as I enjoyed telling it. If you would like help in getting your guy or even your girl back, you can contact me about private coaching at my website, theartoflove.net. If you're listening to this on iTunes, I would appreciate if you would rate and review the podcast. If you're listening on YouTube and you liked it, then remember to hit the like button and subscribe. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.